Good afternoon and welcome to Mr. Valensik's house. I was super excited to try out this science experiment that was given for our 4th grade students. I'm making this video for anyone who wants to see how it goes. This comes from the Illinois Ag in the Classrooms, and it is pumpkin pie in a bag. Hey man, pumpkin pie? Okay, I need to change what I'm wearing. Hold on. Okay, I think this is better. Now we are ready to do some preparation of food. So my first step, you'll notice I have all my ingredients out, and for the sake of time, I've already measured out some things. So I have my 1-gallon freezer bag, my cold milk, my 2 packages of vanilla pudding. I have my 1 can of solid packed pumpkin. I have my ground cinnamon, my ground ginger, my graham crackers, which I've already crushed up for the crumbs, my small cups, and my whipped topping, which is optional, but come on, who isn't putting whipped cream on their pumpkin pie dessert? So let's get started with the directions. My recipe says first I need to combine the milk and the pudding in the bag, then remove the air and seal the bag shut. So get this going. We're going to start adding our 2 2/3 cups of milk. I measured out 2 cups of milk. And then I need my 2/3 cups of milk. Which I'm going to use my measuring cup to pour just so I don't accidentally spill anything. So we got our milk in the bag. Then I need to add my pudding. It's the 2 packages of pudding mix, so I want to make sure I've got both of them. There's my first one. If anything spills out, I don't lose any of my ingredients. Then let's get our 2nd package of pudding mix in there. Then I need to close the bag a little bit, and then I'm going to remove the air. So I'm going to very carefully just push down to try to get as much of the air out of there as I can. I guess if I was feeling really fancy, I could use a vacuum sealer, but this should work just fine. We get most of the air out, and then I need to squeeze and knead until well blended for about 1 minute. So I'm going to make sure that's closed because I do not want that spilling all over me. And I get to just mix it like so for 1 minute. And we're back. We can see that I have my pudding mix all mixed up thoroughly. Now my next step is to add pumpkin, cinnamon, and ginger. And I'm going to use an entire can of solid packed pumpkin. And not to do any product placement, but this does come from my mother. She works for the company who made this. So I am all about using the Libby's pumpkin, but any brand of solid packed pumpkin will work just fine. See that I actually lost a little bit of it there. Now I'm going to use my rubber spatula to make sure I get as much of it out of the can as I can. And the rest of it, I'll just give to my dog because dogs love pumpkin. So we've got the 1 can of solid packed pumpkin. Then we need to add our cinnamon and our ginger. So I need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which has already been ground. You can also get whole stick cinnamon, but measure out my 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and my 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. And when it comes to spices, if you get a little bit too much, a little bit under, it's not going to be the end of the world. You don't have to worry about getting your measurements exact. But we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to close up and we're going to leave a little bit of a hole in the bag so we can squeeze the air out. And then we are going to squeeze and knead again for about 2 minutes. Then the next step is to put half a tablespoon of graham cracker crumbs in the bottom of each small cup. So I'm going to use my measuring cup here, and I have a 1 tablespoon measure. I'm going to just make sure I have a little bit less than a tablespoon, because if I have more than that, I like graham crackers, so I'm going to give myself a full tablespoon in the bottom of these cups. I know the recipe says half a tablespoon, but I feel like the full tablespoon is just going to give me a little bit better flavor in the bottom of my dessert. Now I'm going to look, and just because that first one has some bigger pieces. Go. So now we've got our graham crackers in the bottom of our dessert cups. Can move all that out of the way. Then I need to cut a corner of the freezer bag and squeeze the pie filling into cups. So when I look at this, I don't want to cut from the top where it has the zipper. So I'm going to turn the bag upside down, and again, using my index finger and thumb, kind of squeegee some space out of this corner here. And that is where I'm going to cut the corner. I don't want it too big because I need to be able to control it. So I'm going to hold it and kind of where the tip of my thumb, that lets me just cut out a nice sized piece there. And then we're going to squeeze the pie filling into the cups. And it looks like I still have some left over, so I will be able to save that, and maybe I'll make another one of these desserts later. But I'm going to carefully wrap that, put off to the side. We're going to open up my whipped topping, because of course my last step, we got to put a nice dollop of whipped topping on here. So I'm just going to scoop out. We're just going to put a nice little dollop of whipped topping on each one of these desserts. And there we go. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon and making the pumpkin pie in a bag, which came to us from the Illinois Ag in the Classroom. I hope you try it out. Let me know what you think. Have a great one.